funding pipelines are not new to the times. They've been out there in different forms, different names, in good times and bad times. And I think, like a lot of things, we focus on them in times of challenges, and it's how to help get through the challenges. But they're just as effective. You could even argue more effective when things are going great. And we'll get back to it a little bit. But my primary purpose on the funding pipeline is a lot of potential or actual disruptions in funding do not cause an immediate journal entry. So let me get finance for you in a second.
Yeah.
A funding source is turned off immediately. We might not see that for a month or two. Even if there was something happen immediately, financial reports come out once a month. Those reports are generated 2 weeks after the time period. I mean, that could be 60 days down the road. But a funding pipeline is more of a living document that's not GAAP, generally accepted accounting principles, where we're putting in our anticipation of funding. And it can be somewhat of a look back, and that would tie into financial state. Where was the funding coming from? But it's a place to start to quantify and look at. And what I call it gives us a structured methodology to look at something that's a little bit unpredictable, and to say, hey, funding source A is actually turned off. It's in our budget. So when we look at that funding pipeline, which is a forecast of funding, that last month it was in there, this month it's not. But we also get to sort of quantify our forecast and and to use back, sort of overused words. And any forecast you have, most likely, and least likely, or best case, worst case, likely case type of scenarios.
So let me see if I understood the basic premise. This is all about communicating. First, it's a planning tool, but it's also a communication tool to the board when you're talking about these things. But your standard, let's say, monthly reports, not necessarily going to capture these really big events, at least in the time that you need to start adjusting and having conversations with your board. Because if you wait for because you said no journal entry, so your standard report not going to capture that. So that's where the funding pipeline, if I understand correctly, this is a way to both tinker with it and the methodology, but also to communicate it. Is that a good takeaway?
Exactly. Yeah, it's a visualization tool for something that's real time.
Yeah.
And this might help, Ben. We put this into the article, and you can actually see the template up there. But there's 4 benefits in no particular order. Number one, it's a real-time documentation of something you just learned. And it could have been a news feed. It could have been anything that so-and-so agency is pulling back or something or whatever. Okay. Then second benefit is gives you a chance to explore the ranges of this. Like you hear something, it's like, you know what, I'm glad I'm aware of it, but we have a small chance of that affecting us, or this could really affect us. So again, to that, best case, worst case, likely case type of thing. So you get a place to assess that. Okay. Then the third one is you get to communicate that confidence level to others. That here's where we're at, and that alone, people don't know you can't see the future, but you get that confidence that you're aware of it, you're ahead of it, versus that a board member calling you and say, hey, what are you doing? You want to get out in front. And the best part of this is that then we can start to do some future planning off of that and look at future budgets and things.